You can see this massive tree collapsed onto this small home over here, and thankfully there were no fatalities. Good afternoon, everyone. It's News 3's Ashley Garrett on the scene of some breaking news in Columbus. You can pan over here. You can just see the door has just opened from the wind. There's nobody behind there. Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle has conceded. Some of you drivers may be a little bit frustrated with today's blockade, but let me just go behind the camera right now and show you how much water we're talking about here. I'm at one of those badly damaged homes right now. As you can see behind me, there's a gaping hole. Authorities tell me it's incidents like yesterday that never get easy. In fact, I had a conversation with a representative with the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office who tells me when he woke up, it was almost as if he had a hangover, even though he had not consumed any alcohol. Good evening, and thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Ashley Garrett. Let's get right to tonight's top story. Only on 3, we have disturbing surveillance video of Sunday morning's deadly shooting outside the Auburn McDonald's on West Magnolia Avenue. We do want to warn you, many may find this video disturbing, and News 3 has carefully edited the video so you do not see anyone getting shot. Take a look. Shooting leaves 1 person dead and 4 others hurt tonight. News 3 has learned the victim's identity as well as where police are now with this case. In a story you saw first on 3, News 3's Jesselyn Adams joins us now with those details and how students are reacting. Jesselyn. Mallory Hagan, Democratic nominee in Alabama's 3rd congressional district, is responding to the deadly shooting tonight. Even when there is criminal motive, this is her statement, families must cope with loss and the pain of wondering whether they could have done something to stop the violence. Our prayers are with the victims, their families, and all who knew them in our communities, end quote. It makes you want to hold your loved ones just a little bit closer tonight, and this next story will likely do the same. In Columbus, police are working to learn what led to last night's deadly shooting. The store is called Connor's Botanical Den. It's also known as the CBD store, and it's located on Gentian Boulevard. Today I caught up with several customers who say they once lived in constant, excruciating pain. They say this store gave them back a quality life.
By removing the inflammations from your body, you just get a feeling of well-being. You get a feeling of serenity without losing any focus.
Pam Connor is the owner of the newly opened Columbus business, Connor's Botanical Den, also known as the CBD store. The company sells hemp that's THC-free. Connor explains how she and her husband got inspired to get into this business.
A friend of ours has severe Crohn's disease. She was having pains, medication wasn't working. She had gotten hooked up with somebody and started trying CBD. It worked for her wonderfully. Her pains are gone.
Connor says her husband Thomas, who served in the Vietnam War, was also an inspiration. As a result, he sustained 2 damaged vertebrae and arthritis, among other things. He says prior to using CBD products, he would use epidurals with strong prescription meds.
I have a bad heart. The epidurals were not, they didn't work. I had the first one that lasted about 4 hours, and then they gave me 2 other ones and they didn't do anything. So I said, what's the sense of going through the pain of having the epidurals when in fact they're not doing anything for me?
Connor says before taking the CBD products, he would constantly have to use a cane because it would be a struggle to get around. But now,
this stuff makes it so I can walk around, and people who haven't seen me in a while see me now, and sometimes I go without my walking stick there and they say, I don't know what you're taking, but I need a little bit of that.
Lisa Lee works at the CBD store. She's also a customer who once lived with excruciating sciatica pain and migraines that would bring her to tears.
I used to be on a lot of medication. I would literally be like a walking zombie.
But since taking the CBD store products,
it's just put a whole new perspective on life. I want to get out and do things. I want to exercise. I want to bike ride, and I do these things.
you light up when you talk about these products.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because it works. It works.
The Columbus Police Department confirms the store is in compliance. For more information on the store, you can visit our website. That's WRBL.com. Just click on this story. This is 18-year-old Levi Jones. He works at the Chick-fil-A on Whittlesey Boulevard. Earlier today, he told me about a recent time he helped a man who appeared to be in great need. Levi says when the Lord tells him to move, he does just that.
You know, I'm a Christian, and I claim that wholeheartedly.
That's 18-year-old Levi Jones. He works at the Chick-fil-A on Whittlesey Boulevard. Tuesday, he shared a story with me about helping a man in need, saying this is the Lord's way of showing his love surpasses all understanding.
This Walter was sitting under that tree right there, kind of slumped over. He had his eyes closed, looked very tired, and I went over to him, and God led me over there to speak to him, and I asked him how he was doing, if I could get him any food, and I noticed he didn't have any shoes on his feet, and the Lord told me to give my shoes to him, and so that's exactly what I did.
Levi says this happened while he was on the clock not too long ago. After tending to the man in need, getting him a meal and the man's favorite drink, Dr. Pepper, Levi returned back to work without shoes. Management was kind enough to give Levi shoes that were available, but they were 4 sizes too big. Despite this, Levi did not complain. Todd Kalish, the operator of the Chick-fil-A, says Levi's acts are like those of the founder of the franchise.
Truett told us, always obey your kind-hearted impulses, and so you're kind of channeling that, and he really didn't even learn that or hear that. It's just kind of, it's in his DNA.
Levi says when the Lord tells him to move, he does just that.
I love Jesus, and as his son, I'm called to live and walk just like Jesus did on the earth. And Jesus hung around homeless people. He, took care of people, loved on people, blessed people wherever he went. And so I just want to walk as my Father, which is Jesus Christ, walked, and live that out every single day of my life.
News 3's Ashley Garrett joining us now here at the desk with some more perspective.
Matter of full disclosure, wouldn't you like to be related to that young man?
I sure would.
Well, I'm blessed to be his grandfather.
I know you are. And there's an extra tidbit I wanted to add. According to management, there was another selfless act that Levi did. There was a young woman with a small family, small children, and when she went to make a payment, there was something wrong with her debit card. According to the boss, Levi went from behind the counter and paid with his own debit card so that family could eat, but he didn't stop there. He also wrapped his arms around them and began to pray for them as well. And an extra tidbit about that man who received Levi's shoes, that man is expecting a newborn son and tells Levi that he's going to name his son after Levi.
Oh.
Wow.
He's an exceptional young man.
He sure is.
Having a conversation with Levi is like having a conversation with a grown person. He's an old soul.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I can't stop smiling, and I'm very thankful that he's in my family.
Good stuff.
Thank you,
Thank
Ashley.
You're very welcome.
Good job.
Over to you, Bob.
Oh, I'm not even deserving to come to me. Let's go to commercial break on that. He's wonderful. I'm honored to know Levi as well.